Hey guys, this is Connor with Conquest HP, and this is the audio version of an article on my website, conquesthp.com. If you'd prefer to read rather than listen, you can check that out in the information below and find the link there. Alright, so this one, self-sabotage. See it, know it, walk away from it forever. And I might throw in some extra points as we kind of move along here. So just if I go off the script a little bit, don't hold it against me. All right. Health and fitness are linear pursuits. They are predictable, quantifiable, and totally within your control. And I have a pet unicorn. I try to draw trends and tendencies between clients. I've worked with hundreds of them between osteopathy and personal training, and it's remarkable how often the same issues show up in different ways. One incredibly common issue is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage exists under many names and wears many masks, but it is what it is. Self-sabotage is often the first crack appearing in the foundation of your new pursuit. The way you address that first crack determines the strength in the rest of the structure. I like house analogies, if you haven't noticed. Maybe you're already running examples of self-sabotage through your head. Maybe you can see some vivid mental movies, some moments in which you threw a wrench in your own gears for some mysterious reason. Go for it. Check out those movies. I only ask that you expand the breadth of that search. There's some obvious examples of self-sabotage. When you've been doing very well on your low-carb diet for months until you ate 3 pizzas in one night. When you'd been doing great at cutting out alcohol until you had a couple of cases of beer this week. These cases are obvious and egregious. Because they're obvious, they don't pose much of a threat to you. You can see them, they're undeniable. You might even be aware during that bout of sabotage. You might be aware of what you are doing. You might even be aware enough to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing as it's happening? These bouts often set you back in your pursuit, and that's okay, because they can just as easily strengthen your resolve. Nothing recommits you to your diet like a painful bout of disgust with yourself or shame in your setback. It's sad but true, sometimes that works. Even if these bouts don't help you get back on track, at least they're obvious. You can't deny what happened. Somewhere down the road, this information may be helpful in choosing a different path to follow, one you can actually stick to. Maybe that's a different diet or a different form of exercise or whatever it may be. The truly dangerous form of self-sabotage is much smaller. It's not a monster beating down your door. It's the bacteria living in your house, in your car, on your skin. It's there all along, biting away and looking for an opening to disrupt your good intentions. You can't see it, smell it, taste it. You won't know it when it's about to strike. Though this more insidious self-sabotage is often hidden from view, it's constantly attacking your pursuit. Not with week-long bouts of binge behavior, but with subtle compromises in your daily routines and your mindset. The truly dangerous form of self-sabotage is the one that's with you all the time. The one slowly eroding your determination, slowly dampening your spirits, and slowly leading you down the path to bad habits. The truly dangerous form of self-sabotage is the one you don't see. Where to spot this form of self-sabotage? You may think you've been doing pretty well with your workout plan, your diet, your new habits. Hey, maybe you are doing really well. If you are, congrats. Let's keep that going. Even if you've had some success, you're not immune to the bite of self-sabotage. Take a closer look at the last few days. Watch your behavior and your thoughts closely. You'll see. It won't be big or obvious. Maybe decide to watch an extra episode of the show you're addicted to instead of going for your evening walk. That show is just so good. You can always walk tomorrow. What's the harm? Maybe you add just a smidge more butter to your recipe than you know you should. Hell, even the recipe knows you don't need that much butter. That's why you have a recipe. It's just a bit. It probably won't even make a difference, right? Maybe you had a long day and you really feel like zoning out. You decide to check out social media before bed. Scrolling is good entertainment, that's all. You end up staying up way past your bedtime to look at social media, but that's okay. It's just a few minutes. Plus, you're relaxing, right? It's pretty much the same thing as sleep. Subtle, sneaky little buggers. Doesn't it make you angry how covert these little compromises can be? I totally get that you need to cut yourself some slack sometimes. I'm all for it. However, the slack we cut ourselves isn't slack much of the time. We think we're doing ourselves a favor, expressing some compassion for ourselves maybe, but really we're sabotaging ourselves. When you're serious about a sport, your health, fitness, or diet, you set an agreement. You agree with yourself that this pursuit will take time, energy, effort, and sacrifice. You know that. You're willing to do it. You've agreed with yourself that the outcome, or the process, is worth that cost. You've decided on a vision for yourself. Maybe you never really sat down to define and live in that vision, but it's still there. It's a murky movie of yourself living a better life. Smiling more, lifting more, being better to your friends and family, achieving more. You decided on this movie. This is what you want. In these moments of self-sabotage, a sultry voice in your mind will say, "It's okay. It's just an extra episode. You deserve it. You've been working so hard. You're tired. You just need a little break. It'll be good for you." The voice makes a compelling argument. It sounds good. You want to act on this advice. You do act on it because you imagine these thoughts must be true. Remember the vision you set for yourself, your goals, your agreement? Listening to this voice compromises that agreement. You aren't acting on the version of your life you want to live. You're acting on the version of your life you're trying to change. You're temporarily suspending the agreement to be who you want to be. Instead, you're deciding to live as who you have been, who you were. Would these comforts still comfort you if you knew you were slowly eroding your vision? If you knew that desperately you wanted to achieve a certain life, would these moments of self-sabotage still feel good? Would you be acting in accordance with your vision or acting against it? Defining the beast. This subtle self-sabotage is a call to comfort. Oh my goodness, the tongue twisters. The comfort of the couch. The comfort of your favorite show or food or drink or your old familiar bad habits. Comfort. You want something you know. You want something that provides immediate gratification. Something that feels good in this moment. You know that's what these bouts of self-sabotage are. No one self-sabotages by eating 7 stalks of celery. Boo-hoo, I'm a loser. I can't control my celery consumption. You ever heard that one before? You're engaging in some kind of comfort-seeking behavior. Even though you'll eat to the point of gastric distress, drink to the point of hangover, or smoke to the point of nausea, you're doing it to find comfort. How is it that these bad behaviors bring us comfort? It's because health and fitness pursuits are dangerous. They're dangerous to your identity. They're the realization that more life exists out there, somewhere. Somewhere out there is a life you could live, a body you could love, a clear and calm mind. Somewhere. Acknowledging this somewhere is incredibly dangerous. Before you acknowledged it, you could simply write it all off. You can't do that. You can't be that. You can't have that life. Don't even imagine it. It's not possible for you. By acknowledging this desire, you tell yourself that you're going to believe in it. Now you've decided it's possible. Now you have a chance, and that's scary. That means every moment is a chance to work toward that vision, or a chance to fail to do so. Now the failure card is on the table. Before you'd been slowly eating yourself to death with no aspirations. Any chance at a better life was gagged and stuffed into a deep, dark corner of your mind. Gagged with junk food, probably. Not now. Now you've let that potential out of the box. It's scary. It makes demands of you. Success hadn't really been an option before. You can't define success as eating comfort foods, watching trashy TV, and waiting to die. That's not success. Now that you know a greater success is possible, you also have to face the possibility of failure. Again, it's scary. You feel like you are on the line. Not your body, not your mind, you. You feel that if you let yourself down at this task, you'll lose some part of yourself. Your identity will change, and you won't like what it changes into. There's real skin in this game. And so we seek comfort. All of this potential failure, the pressure we put on ourselves, it's exhausting. Sometimes we just want a brief moment away from that. We want some refuge we can go to. We'll come back to our vision tomorrow, but for now we're scared to death. For now we're so scared that we need to run and hide in something comfortable. We need to find some comforting food. We need to have a drink. We need to turn off our conscious minds by scrolling social media or watching whatever nonsense Netflix is putting out right now. Self-sabotage is the realization of your fear. It's the action of using comfort to buffer yourself from that fear. Who cares? I don't fault you for liking your favorite TV shows. I have mine. I don't fault you for loving your favorite foods or finding some of those foods especially comforting. I don't fault you for putting off your dream until tomorrow. It's your life to live, and it's not my position to tell you how to live it. I won't even do that if you pay me to coach you. It's not my job to decide the right life for you. It's my job to get you where you want to go. People go through some things, ugly things. I get it. I get that sometimes you want to curl up on the couch with a never-ending stream of distraction and a bottomless bag of buttery popcorn. I get it. If that's really what you want for yourself, have at it. If you don't have any higher aspirations than surviving the day to sit on the couch at night, that's your call. I'm not trying to make you feel bad about your life choices. Unless you're anything like me. If you've decided that the life you live now isn't exactly the life you'd like to live, the above doesn't apply to you, or me. If you've decided you'd like to achieve a little more, be a little more, get a little leaner, or win a competition, you don't get the luxury of hiding from life. You don't get to buy a one-way ticket to Comfortland. Not you. Part of the agreement you made with yourself was resisting the call of Comfortland. Not for the sake of resisting, but for the sake of living the life you want to live. If getting to the life you want to live includes a little Netflix each night, go for it. I don't hate TV or indulgence. What I do hate is when these comfort-seeking behaviors destroy dreams. That drives me insane. When you have a vision for yourself, you have two options. Act on it or bury it. There's a third option, too. Keep the vision on life support while failing to act on it. I can't recommend the third option. It's the worst of both worlds, and living this way will make you miserable. Amen to that. The first option is noble. It's a call to a higher self. It's a call to struggle and some adventure and a life that excites you. If you're ready for such a journey, I commend you. Do it. The second option may seem a bit cold. Bury my vision? Really? Listen, some people aren't ready to take the action they need to take. The vision will require dramatic action. If you aren't ready for this action, why string yourself along? Why tease yourself? Why suffer each day knowing that you could be more, but you won't do what's necessary to be that version of yourself? That's cruel, and cruel people tend to be unpleasant. I don't want to be around cruel people, or be one myself. You're going to have setbacks on any positive course of action. A new diet, a new workout plan, the road to the Olympics, or just taking up knitting. It's not going to be smooth sailing all the time. You'll fuck it up, and you'll have to fix it. You'll have to do this over and over again. If you keep doing this, you'll keep getting better as you go. You will sabotage your own pursuit at times. The most devoted, steadfast trainee will do this. It happens. The most important thing is to see self-sabotage for what it is. You can learn from these bouts, big or small. The more you learn, the more you grow. Self-sabotage is a call to return to comfort. It's a call to resume your old life. Self-sabotage is the path you follow when you're tired of trying, when you just want to take a break. It's the path that takes you back through known territory to a known destination. Feel that comfort wash over you as you return to that known territory. Know that changing your life or going after a vision will be the opposite of the trip to comfort land. It'll be hard. It'll require time and effort. It'll require you to mess up and mess up regularly. It'll require you to bounce back from these failures. It requires you to grow and become something bigger and better. As you pursue this track, you'll be in unknown territory the whole time. This alone is terrifying for most people. You've never walked this path before. You've never had this body before. Who are you? What are you? There will be an uncomfortable lack of certainty. If you let it, this lack of certainty will make you stronger. I know the path to your vision sounds less appealing than the path to the couch. No kidding. I'm okay with that. I don't want to sell you something you don't want to buy. If you're ready to act on your own vision, the call to a better life will have been enough to sell you already. I'll finish with one final nail in this coffin. Comfort-seeking self-sabotage often feels great in the moment. The taste of buttery popcorn in your mouth lights up your salivary glands. The couch absorbs your body in a warm cocoon of comfort. This feels great in the moment. There's no denying that. Later, you're probably going to feel guilt, shame, disgust, or disappointment with yourself. If you feel these things, you have a higher vision for yourself. It's in there, somewhere. Find it and decide what to do with it. Living in that in-between isn't a great option, as I already discussed. Though the path to your vision is a lot bumpier and a lot more uncertain, it's the opposite of comfort in one more important way: fulfillment. Comfort makes you feel good in this moment and bad later. Oftentimes those comforting behaviors, the Netflix, the junk food, the things you do on the couch, they feel good right away, but afterwards they leave you feeling a little hollow and empty. You know you've done something that you either shouldn't do or that's not in accordance with how you want to live. The vision path can hurt in this moment, but it will truly make you feel alive. You'll feel like you know yourself for the first time, like you're honoring yourself, and this sense will propel you toward the happiest, most fulfilled life possible for you. It won't come easy, but who needs easy anyways? Easy is overrated. When you see that your self-sabotage comes down to a simple but difficult choice, you get to work. Figure out why you're sabotaging yourself, and you can figure out what you need to do with your life. Figure that out and reconnect with it often, and you won't need self-sabotage anymore. Alright, so that's the end of the article right there. Self-sabotage is something that I'm seeing in the clinic all the time. It's something I see in fitness all the time. It's obviously there with nutrition all the time, and then just basic lifestyle habits. People want to walk more, they want to meditate, they want to reduce stress, or they want to change jobs or whatever it may be. And there's this resistance there. It feels like every time they try to make these changes, something pulls them back, or they make a little progress and then they fall back and they can't make those changes stick. And oftentimes that's self-sabotage, and that's just, you can say it's coming from different things, but in my opinion, it's that fear. You're going into unknown territory. You're trying to do something that's hard when you've been just kind of coasting or doing something the easy, the comfortable thing for so long. And you're afraid of what will happen if you fail. You're afraid of what will happen if you succeed and you find yourself in new territory where you've never been before, and all of a sudden your lifestyle looks totally different, and your friends are totally different, and the way you spend your time is totally different. Those are all kind of scary things. So it makes sense that we throw a wrench in our own gears from time to time. We're trying to stop that process or slow it down, give ourselves some time to think about it. We're trying to pull ourselves back to territory we know. And that's totally understandable. And whatever area of life you may be seeing that for yourself, if it's like a pain or a rehab kind of thing you're trying to get through, or if you're trying to lose some weight, build muscle, set PRs, whatever it may be, identifying that these moments are little bouts of self-sabotage is tremendously useful, because seeing that you are the one that's getting in your own way, and you're doing it in a subtle kind of subconscious way, but it's still an intentional bout of self-sabotage. Seeing that that is the case is incredibly valuable. And you don't have to point the finger elsewhere. You don't have to say, well, I'm addicted to sugar because Big Sugar is whatever marketing to me. You don't have to say it's Susan at the office who's corrupting you or tempting you with the baked goods or whatever it might be. It's on you. It comes back to you and your own responsibility. And ultimately, you're the one putting the food in your mouth or doing the thing you shouldn't do. And if you're acting that way through self-sabotage, knowing that can help you fix it. All right, so I'm going to do a few more posts like this in the future. Let me know below if you guys appreciate the audio version of this. And definitely want some more of this, check out conquesthp.com or the other videos on this channel. And I will talk to you guys again soon.